Welcome to Spoiler Alert, where we talk about and spoil the shows you're obsessed with. This week, TVLINE senior editor Kim Rooch joins Matt Mitovich and I to critique the first two Mad Men's.
Looking forward to it.
Weigh in on Game of Thrones' handy twist.
You think you're the smartest man there is.
Preview the Good Wife finale and offer a renewal update on a cult favorite. Kim, this must be a big deal for you.
It's my...
How are you feeling about your big spoiler
childhood
debut?
dream is coming true right now.
Wow, well, to quote RuPaul, don't it up. Let's go right into one of your big obsessions, Mad Men, which you recap every week brilliantly. Not loving this season so far, personally, for me. I feel like it's a retread almost of every other season. Don is depressed, cheating on someone. I'm not feeling engaged by much of what's happening.
I disagree a bit. I mean, it has been a little slow in the beginning. I'll give them a few episodes to get their feet back underneath them. I think what I really like about what's happening this season is, you're right, Don and Pete, to some extent, are stuck in the same things they've been doing for seasons. But they're kind of the old guard, and they are stuck in the old ways. And then you see people like Megan, who I know is your favorite, coming in and doing things in a different way, and people like Don just don't know how to process that. So I think it's a good thing. I'm willing to give it some more time.
Matt?
My grievance is mainly with the second episode. I liked this season's premiere more than last season's, but the second episode was just so freaking predictable.
Yeah.
The instant Travis's girlfriend from Cougar Town looked at Pete in that first scene, I knew A, they were going to hook up, and B, she was going to go psycho on him.
If I let the phone ring once and hang up, then you'll know it's me.
Don't do that.
I get it, you know, Don always has one fling or another, but we didn't get the genesis of this one, so I don't get it.
This didn't happen. Just in here.
I love Linda Cardellini. I actually would prefer him with her over Megan.
Such a horrible person.
But that relationship, there's nothing new or interesting about that.
Right, why her?
How is that any different than the fling he had with Maggie Sif in season 1?
Did you get all gussied up for me?
No. I had no idea you'd be darkening my doorway.
And what do we think about sort of the heavy-handed way that you reintroduced Herb, the Jaguar guy? You know, having Joan come into Don's office and say,
He's here.
You kind of saw it coming. That was her way of saying, okay, you need to finally make this right.
I was just happy Joan had something to do in that episode.
I know, that was like one of her, she's had 3 lines this season so far?
And she's a partner. She's a partner.
Still nothing to do.
And still nothing to do. And still running to Don, like you said, for help. So I want more Joan. I need more Joan in my Mad Men.
She does appear to be moonlighting as a flight stewardess, then.
Props to Alison Brie, though, who's great in that episode.
Awesome.
I'm drawing a 50-mile radius around this house, and if you so much as open your fly to urinate, I will destroy you.
She's gone now, right? I mean, if he's barred from coming home, like, what is that?
No, I see a big divorce courtroom drama arc coming up.
Oh, that would be great.
Oh,
Pete's
yeah,
never
they're
going to do
cast
what
lawyers
she
and
says.
stuff.
Yeah.
One last thing about Mad Men that really bothered me. My favorite season was the one where Don and Betty had their divorce. And when his secret came out and all of that, the stakes were high. I don't feel like there are any stakes on that show. It's all so subtle and just all so moody.
I think we're ramping up with Peggy and her
Going head to head with-
exactly.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
her
the Peggy storyline is actually pretty interesting.
that could go.
She's gonna have to really grow up and go up against her former mentor. I'm excited about that.
Although I literally screamed at my screen, "Shut up!" when she kept babbling to her new boss
Oh,
about
yeah.
what she'd learned about
You're lying.
the Heinz account.
I don't think you actually literally screamed to your
I
television.
literally scream. I do that.
Moving on, another Sunday night obsession, Game of Thrones, which you recap brilliantly. You don't have time for anything else on Sunday night,
Not
I
really,
imagine.
no.
Yeah, good. Let's keep it that way. Jamie lost his hand. It was a shocking twist and kind of tragic, even though he's a despicable character.
That's the thing. I mean, Jamie, I love him. He's one of my favorite characters. I have to keep reminding myself, he pushed a little boy out a window.
Right.
For very little, So him getting his hand taken off makes me a little bit more okay with my love.
Karma.
Exactly. Yeah, and the thing is, he had just saved Brienne.
Lord Selwyn would pay his daughter's weight in sapphires if she's returned to him.
He's in the situation where he's a Lannister. He's always been able to get out of anything by saying, my father can pay you.
My father. And if you get in any trouble, all you've got to do is say, my father.
Couldn't get out of this, and he, on top of that, it was like, a good deed being punished.
This season's all about Jamie and Brienne. Love them together.
I'm a woman. I'm still beating you.
You are not beating me.
And coming up this Sunday, in the wake of his hand getting chopped off, she becomes his protector even more, which is really kind of wonderful and sweet.
I also love her. She's just so awkward, and it's so fantastic.
It's so great. Matt, you had something to chime in about Game of Thrones?
I've never seen it, so when you say he lost his hand, is that a metaphor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Matt.
Okay.
It is a metaphor. Oh my God, breaking news from TVLINE's Decision 13 headquarters. Our correspondent has some news about the renewal prospects of a cult favorite. Let's cut to him right now. Some breaking news here at TVLINE's Decision 13 headquarters. The CW's perennial bubble drama Nikita, which had been too close to call, has been upgraded to a safe bet for season 4. I'm hearing there is now a solid chance the Maggie Q-fronted series will return for a shortened order of around 10 episodes. If you're just tuning in, Nikita is now a safe bet for renewal. I'm Michael Ausiello at TVLINE's Decision 13 News Desk. Mike, Matt, Kim, back to you. Megan Masters will be very relieved.
That'll be a crowd pleaser.
Moving on, following in Hannibal, 2 serial killer shows. Kim Roots, which one is doing it better?
I think Hannibal's doing it better. Hannibal's gross and scary, and it gets in your head.
It's subtle, you know. It's like it's more of a serious thinking person serial killer
It's
drama.
so smart sometimes. I almost get lost. I mean, that when Hannibal and Will start going back and forth with the psychobabble, I'm like, what? Because it's like everything on that show is symbolic of something else. And Will's got this like stag that keeps following him around.
The creepy
Although I think
stag.
I don't know if it's aired yet, but we see that there's a stag statue in Lecter's office. So I guess maybe Will's kind of realizing that Hannibal's
Something's not
kind of
right.
Hannibal's dogging him.
I'm behind a few episodes of the following. Is everyone, including cops and priests and deli cashiers, still working for what's his face?
Everyone.
Everyone is.
Sheriffs and stuff like that.
Because that got a little old for me.
I think the following's biggest liability is the FBI never gets a big win. The only real win they've had so far in this season is they found the armory where they were doing all the training for the recruits. But every other lead they get just explodes fantastically. This week I was saying to you I was going to scream if they didn't manage to hold on to Joey. They got Joey back.
They did get Joey back this week. Whether they can hold on to him for very long, I just fear he'll be spirited off
It's
again.
like every lead they get, like they end up having to shoot, or someone else gets shot from Mysterious. This past episode, I'm like, where is Annie Priest's character? Because they were just on the radio with her a second ago. Meanwhile, they're getting assaulted in this guy's house. Where's the backup?
I'm loving Hannibal, and just a little tease. I kind of know where the season is going in the finale. Is what they're going to be doing in the finale is just unbelievable, and may or may not be a little bit of a nod to Silence of the Lambs. Just throwing that out there.
I meant to do this segment in a Danish accent.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Under your breath so we can understand what you're saying.
Next time.
Good Wife, lastly, now that's one Sunday show you are not recapping. Why not?
Otherwise occupied.
For my money, Good Wife is currently the best drama series on television. Loving it, loving where they're going with it. I really hope Alicia goes off with Carrie and starts a firm at the end of the season. I think that'd be a great way to kick off next season.
You and I are the new Will and Diane.
But the big thing about the finale, spoke to Robert King, the exec producer. He confirms that Alicia will finally make a decision between Will and Peter.
And when you say a decision,
My interpretation of what he said was that she is going to choose Will or she's going to choose Peter, and that's that. For my money, I think it's much more interesting for her to choose Will. You know, like you were saying earlier, it's a much more rich tapestry to explore that than Peter, because Chris Noth comes in and out once every 8 episodes.
Right.
Like, there's not too much drama in that relationship. I'd like to see Will and Alicia out in the open having a relationship, and what does that mean? How does that affect everything? Especially if they're going at each other as rival firms.
I was gonna say, if she does choose Peter, then it would make any future Will scenes just kind of weird and awkward at the office. But if they're not at the same office, then it's a fresh angle on a story that they've basically done before.
Also loving Kalinda's dynamic with the new investigator.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
You're a terrible liar, Robin. I'm pretty good at it.
Before we wrap up, a show I'm obsessed with that I think both of you are not watching and need to, Orphan Black on BBC America.
Vlada sings that show's praises like crazy.
And God bless her, her coverage kind of turned me onto it. The actress Tatiana Maslany is playing at like 600 different characters.
We're clones. We're someone's experiment and they're killing us off.
It's about a cloned species of young ingenue.
Sorry. I wanted to float that whole clone thing a lot softer.
And she's playing all of these roles. All of them are very different.
You're the smart one, you're the wild one.
Would you believe we're clones?
You think they're different actresses. They look different, they act different.
Get out of the way! He's with me!
It's phenomenal, and it's gripping, and it's edge of your seat.
Oh wait, are you being Beth right now? Yes, I'm at the bloody crime scene pretending to be a bloody cop.
I think it just speaks to just like the whole wider scope of TV these days, because BBC America is now churning out these great new dramas in addition to Doctor Who. Sundance Channel has these great new series. I know AMC, of course. Just everyone's really getting into the game. Stars. Da Vinci's Demons is off to a hot start. So there's more TV to watch than ever, and on Saturday night, no less.
Saturday night.
Saturday
look at
night,
AMC.
you can watch Orphan Black, Doctor Who.
Hell on Wheels.
Smash if you want to.
Kim, you did a fabulous job.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. Matt, as the credits roll, we're going to critique her performance.
Okay.
So I said great. She was okay.
I thought she was a sassy mother.
A little too sassy, some might say. We'll have her pull back on that. Any other notes we should give her?
What do you think about the ponytail choice?
I thought it looked very Mad Men.
Revisit for season 3?
Next week she should come dressed as Game of Thrones. Someone from Game of Thrones.
I don't know what that means.
If she's invited back. But she won't be.
I'm Haley Steinfeld, and you're watching ENTV. Hi, my name is Kiernan Shipka, and you're watching ENTV.
Aubrey Plaza, ENTV. I just touched it with my mouth, sorry.